When an 86-year-old monarch who ruled for over half a century is suddenly rushed to the hospital for emergency heart surgery, the official press releases always say the exact same thing: smooth sailing, resting comfortably, and in good spirits. But behind the heavy, centuries-old doors of Friedensborg Palace, the reality of Queen Margrethe's sudden cardiac scare is painting a far more cautious, high-stakes picture than the Danish royal court is willing to admit. The sudden cancellation of every single public appearance wasn't just a precautionary measure. It was a stark, undeniable sign that the legendary stamina of Denmark's Iron Queen has finally met its match, leaving a nation to wonder what is truly happening behind closed doors. Welcome back to Danish News Daily, where we pull back the polished curtain of royalty to uncover the human truths, hidden power dynamics, and unspoken realities shaping the modern monarchy. On the 14th of May, the former queen was urgently admitted to Rigshospital suffering from severe angina, leading doctors to perform an immediate balloon angioplasty to clear her blocked arteries. While the palace quickly spun a narrative of a routine, flawless recovery, the complete clearing of her schedule tells a vastly different story, one of extended, mandatory bed rest for a woman who has famously refused to take her foot off the pedal for more than 5 decades. This isn't just a minor speed bump. It is a profound biological reckoning for a matriarch who redefined the modern monarchy, and the true extent of her fatigue is sending ripples of quiet anxiety through the entire family. For 52 years, Margrethe was the absolute anchor of Denmark, a chain-smoking, art-loving, no-nonsense force of nature who weathered every political and personal storm with unbreakable poise. To the Danish people, she was like one of those grand old Nordic sailing ships, built tough, tested by the brutal northern elements, and still cutting through massive waves that would capsize anyone half her age. But this sudden cardiac episode is the ultimate, inescapable proof that even the grandest ships eventually have to pull into dry dock for urgent, fundamental repairs. The palace is currently walking a razor-thin tightrope, desperately trying to protect her deeply personal health battle, while simultaneously managing a flawless public image, which perfectly explains why their official updates remain so calculatedly optimistic. Yet, those who know the inner workings of European royalty understand that what is left unsaid is always far more important than what is printed in a press release. The hushed conversations in the palace hallways, the subtle, worried glances exchanged between staff when they think no one is watching. These are the heavy, human moments that never make it into the morning news. And the timing of this sudden medical crisis couldn't possibly carry more emotional weight or fuel more intense speculation about the future of the family. Prince Joachim and Princess Marie have recently confirmed that the entire extended family will be making a permanent, highly anticipated return to Danish soil. What was originally planned as a celebratory, structured homecoming has now been completely recontextualized by Margrethe's failing health, leaving an unspoken, heavy question lingering over the palace. Will the matriarch actually be strong enough to enjoy her grandchildren, or is time running out faster than anyone wants to admit? In the middle of this brewing crisis, Queen Mary has stepped directly into the spotlight, delivering a carefully measured, reassuring update to a deeply concerned public. Mary noted that Margrethe is doing much better, though she candidly acknowledged that the former monarch is incredibly tired. There was a genuine, unmistakable warmth in Mary's voice during that announcement. That classic, straightforward Australian touch cutting straight through the rigid, cold formality of traditional royal protocols. By stepping up so visibly, Mary isn't just acting as a supportive daughter-in-law. She is projecting absolute stability and control at a time when the monarchy feels uniquely vulnerable. This is exactly the kind of modern, empathetic leadership that the Danish public has come to admire, effectively bridging the gap between the old guard and the new era. But even Mary's masterful diplomacy cannot entirely hide the daily realities of an 86-year-old body trying to recover from an invasive vascular procedure, dealing with intense medication routines, and coping with a level of exhaustion that simply cannot be wished away. This profound gap between official calm and private truth is where the real story of the Danish monarchy is currently being written. As we watch this historic transition unfold, it makes us realize just how much the dynamics of the royal family are shifting behind the scenes. if you want to stay ahead of these developing royal stories and analyze.
In February this year, I underwent extensive back surgery in Lyngby. The procedure went well, thanks to the skilled healthcare professionals there who took care of me. Of course, the surgery naturally also prompted thoughts about the future, whether or not it's time to pass on the responsibility to the next generation. I've decided that now is the right time. On January 14th, 2024, 52 years after succeeding my beloved father, I will step down as the Queen of Denmark. I passed the throne on to my son, Crown Prince Frederik.
Aside from both of your very public roles, you do have a vast amount of interests, a vast scope of interests. You are a keen painter, sketcher, you design sets and costumes. Where do you think that artistic flair that you have comes from?
I rather believe it came from my mother's mother, who was Princess Margaret of Britain. She was the Duke of Connaught's daughter, Prince Arthur, Duke of Connaught, one of Queen Victoria's many sons.
So you think your artistic flair has origins in
I think it
England?
came from her. There was also artistic flair on my father's side. He was a very musical man, actually, a very good conductor. So there is something on both sides, but I think the interest in colour and shape and that sort of thing. And I imagine that my mother didn't paint, but she was a very, very good. She was very good at interior decorating. She was very sure of herself about in her taste and in her colour schemes. And so I grew up with that, and I liked painting when I was quite young, and so well, I never really stopped. Mm-hmm. But that's. And I think that comes from my maternal grandmother, who died when my mother was only 10. Mm-hmm. So it's a long way back.
Is that something you often talk about, or you share with Queen Elizabeth?
No, because I mean it's not her part of the family so very much. So she knows about it, of course, and but no, there are many other things to talk about
other than that. Your Majesty, for both you and Queen Elizabeth, do you feel that there is a personality behind the crown that must remain hidden because of the very public roles you have and the values you must always be seen to embody?
I don't think I quite understood what you were trying to ask me.
Do you think for both yourself and for Queen Elizabeth that there is a personality behind the crown, behind the very public role that must be concealed from the public?
I think that I don't personally, I can only speak for myself, but I don't feel that I put on a different coat when I appear, even when I dress in the grandest manner, but it's not. I don't become a different personality, I hope. I feel that I'm the same sort of person underneath, whether I'm wearing this sort of get-up or the full rig. And I think the same goes for Queen Elizabeth, that she's also the same person inside and knows very well that she is the same.
You are who you are.
Exactly.
And obviously you have met Queen Elizabeth many times. What are your fondest memories of her?
Of her? It's hard to say, but it's
when you think of her, what is the instant thought or the instant image you remember?
Well, it's very difficult to say exactly what instant that it's